All right, welcome to Chapter 7. This is Lesson 7.1.1. What we're doing today is we're comparing rates. So that is our learning target for the day. When we compare rates, if we're talking about runners, if this runner was running at this rate and this runner was running at this rate, which runner would you say is running faster? Well, let's see here. After 5 minutes, this one ran a total of 4 something, say 5 minutes, 4 miles. Wow, that'd be a fast runner. And this one in 5 minutes ran 8 miles. So which runner is running faster? That's right. This Superman right here is running faster. All right, so that's a good thing. We can measure how fast someone's running. Or let's say we're talking about the price of soup. Okay, rates can mean something different. Okay, so for 5 cans of soup right here, this one costs $4, but at grocery store B, 5 cans of soup over here costs $8. So would you rather have the 5 cans of soup for $4 or the 5 cans of soup for $8? So it's kind of interesting, but for soup, you'd probably prefer the red line. But if you're talking about like the speed, you would probably rather be able to run as fast as the green line guy. So that's what we're talking about today is comparing rates. So 7.1.1 comparing rates. If you think about it, if I told you that 2 people walk 10 miles, you probably think about that and you think that they're going the same rate and you don't even think much about that. Until you were to be told that, but if you find out that one person walked the whole distance in 3 hours, while another person took 8 hours, all of a sudden you go, okay. Well, they both walked 10 miles, but the 3-hour person was going much quicker than the 8-hour person. All right, by the way, the 8-hour person would probably be more my rate of speed because, well, I don't like walking that much. And so I'd take my sweet old time. All right, let's do a problem. Problem 7.1 on here. And here's what we're looking at. We've got a bunch of 7th grade students here at this school, and they're considering different ways of raising funds, okay? They have some options. The cookie sales. If they were to sell cookies, they would expect to make about $500, but it would take them 3 weeks to do that. Car washes, they would make $700 every 4 weeks. If they were to recycle and do the recycling within their school, they could raise $85 in just 3/5 of a week. And you're thinking of a week as a Monday through Friday type thing, and so in 3 days they can make $85. Or they could go and do yard work, in which case they make $320 in 2 weeks. So the question becomes, which fundraiser or which fundraisers should they choose to do? Now you got to think about this. In order to do this, we have to get these each into one common thing. Now the nice part here is we're all talking about weeks, but we're talking in different lengths of weeks. So what we need to do is come up with our unit rate for this. So a unit rate would be how much in 1 week, okay? So to figure out how much cookies would make in 1 week, we would take the $500, because money always goes on the top, $500, and we divide that by the number of weeks. In this case, that's 3 weeks. So our cookie sales would generate about $167 per week. Car washes, we take the $700, divide that by the 4, and our car washes bring in $175 per week. Now, I know you're probably looking at the next one going, what do I do with a fraction? Well, it's really no different. What is 3 divided by 5? And if you do that on a calculator, you're probably going to find out it's 0.6. So you simply take, just like you did 700 divided by 4, 500 divided by 3, you do the 85 divided by 0.6. When you do that, the number comes out to be about $142. And then finally, you do the 320 divided by 2 weeks, and many of you should be able to do it in your head, is $160. Okay? So I want you to remember these rates. Well, here, let's just talk about it right now. If I was going to choose one fundraiser to do, you would probably choose to do the car washes. Why? Well, it makes the most money per week. If you were going to choose to do a couple of these, you're going to do 2 of them and not do the other 2 because you want to have a couple different ways to raise money. Then you'd probably choose to do the car washes and the cookie sales because those make the most money. The one that we really would choose not to do in this whole thing, even though it might be good for our planet, would possibly be the recycling because it makes the least amount of money for us. And if you're anything like me, you try to make as much money in as little time or with as little work as possible. So, remember your top two here are cookie sales and car washes for 167 and 175. As we go on to the next question, 7.2. The class president has decided the students will sell cookies and hold car washes. Okay, why did they do that? Well, because they make the most money. And we already kind of did this. We need to help compare the sales. Well, we did. The cookie sales, remember, made about $167 per week, and the car washes made $175 per week. So that's how we compare those two. They make quite a bit of money. Then as we move on, 7.3 says, and you got to think about how this works, they need to earn $5,000 for their fundraisers. So the question becomes, what should they, or how long will it take them to do the different things? If they were to only sell cookies, in order to earn $5,000, we need to figure out how much was it they made per week. If you remember right, selling cookies made them about $167 per week. So simply what we do is we take the $5,000 we need, we divide that by the $167 per week, and it's going to take about 30 weeks in order to earn our $5,000. Remember, car washes, though, we made a little bit more money. So for part B, to make $5,000 divided by the 175, which is what you make per week, it's only going to take about 29 weeks. Okay, how can this help Isabel decide which will earn more money? Well, think about it. A, this one makes more per week, or B, in about 29 weeks versus 30 weeks, you make the money faster. It takes you less time, means less work. And again, if you're like Mr. Anderson, sometimes you get lazy and you'd rather work less and still earn the same amount of money. All right, I think I'm done with this lesson. Let me just check one more problem. Yeah, I'm not going there. So we are going to end with this one right here. And hopefully that makes sense on how we compare rates. And in today's lesson, we came up with unit rates to do that. We will see you tomorrow in class. Get your homework done. If you got con done, get that done. And we will see you tomorrow.